Welcome everybody. Today I'm going to show you my new format on my channel. It will be a non-gaming related video. So it'll be a video videos on movies I saw in the cinema. There might some be wrong details because I might mix up some details. And also might miss up some scenes. So let's start. First of all, we see Hawkeye's family disappear. So that's part of the last movie. This is also an important thing. That's why they showed us why Hawkeye's family disappeared. It will change Hawkeye. He gets very mad about it. Then we get 22 days later. Then we get a scene where Iron Man and Nebula are stuck in space. Also, this video will have a lot of spoilers. So if you don't want to get spoiled, better not watch this video because this video have only spoilers. It will most likely tell everything about the movie. Yeah, let's get back to it. So they are stuck in the space, and he's sending some video message to his wife, trying to just keep it on his helmet. So one day, if they find it, then they can play it. Anyways, then some bright light comes to the space, and Tony is like, "This is the sun or something." No, he didn't say anything, but he feels like it's glowing, and it was Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel saves them, Nebula and Tony Stark. Then the Avengers, Tony was not very helpful. He was very angry because Iron Man wasn't there to help them. He said, "We are winning together and losing together," but you weren't there, and he was very angry and was not trying to cooperate with the other Avengers. So the others work on themselves. Then they say they want to get Thanos because they want to change it. So Nebula says he knows where his father was because in the past we were talking where he wanted to go when he accomplished his mission. Rocket found with his technology where Thanos is, and he used the stones 2 days ago. So they went to the planet. I don't remember the name of the planet. So when they arrived, Captain Marvel said she's going to check out, and then she checked the planet out, and she found out there are no guards, just Thanos alone, and so they went in. So Thanos was there on the garden, trying to cook something, and they just, he didn't use his own wire to make this noise. But anyway, they went to Thanos, he just captured him easily. He was very, very weak. And then when they say Thanos, where are the stones, and he says, yeah, he used it 2 days ago, and when he used it, the stones get destroyed. And he almost died in the process doing this as well. And then, the others didn't believe him, but Nebula says, my father's a lot of things, but he's not a liar. And Thor is like, I heard enough of this, he just axed his head. And so Thanos died, and so they went. So it will be the next scene like 5 years later. So this is what I just explained what happened in the first 20-30 minutes ish. So 5 years later, some red went over the van went to the van where Ant-Man's trapped, so it sparkles a little, and so Ant-Man comes back to reality. Ant-Man checks the area how the Earth has changed a lot, visiting his family, so they know he's still alive, because he was also listed as one of them lost, but he wasn't. Then he gets back to the Avengers headquarters, base, whatever, and so they see, then the other Avengers thinks it's no, it's Ant-Man, he's right there on the front door. Then he let him in, and then Ant-Man comes with his theory of time travel, because for the people here right now it was 5 years, but for him himself it was just 5 hours. So his idea of time travel, they say they need some smart heads. So they went over to Iron Man. Iron Man welcomes them normally. Then they give the idea of time travel, and Iron Man says, that's impossible. How are you going to do this? the chances are so low. I will only help you when the chances are most likely, but right now what he's thinking, it's not impossible. I won't help you. If you want to stay, don't talk about those stuff. And then they went off. Then they say they need some smarter people. Somebody who's smarter. Smarter than Tony Stark, says Ant-Man? Yeah. Then they went to Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner said this is not his area, but he will help them. But the Bruce Banner also has changed. Bruce Banner and Hulk are one, not before like one of them are in control. They are now like Bruce Banner looking like Hulk, but his face is like Bruce Banner, and he talks like Bruce Banner, and yeah, Bruce Banner's in control, and the people also are not afraid of him anymore because he's more like, and he also has fans, and yeah, let's go on. Then after they convinced Bruce Banner, they went to do some tests on Ant-Man, and they messed up, and instead of going to time, Bruce Banner is going to time, not Bruce Banner, Ant-Man is going to time. Meanwhile, the other day before, Tony Stark was doing some tests, and he found out that the chances of time travel is 99.997%, and he was shocked and was he was very worried about it, that he can time travel. So then he talked to his wife, and his wife said, "Go, because you won't get peace if you don't go." So the next day, Tony Stark says, "Yeah, you might do this wrong," and he said he has already the solution. So what happened next is that the others are also searching for others. So before, what I missed to say, that Hawkeye gone vigilante and just killed by himself, and War Machine was doing some research on him, and Black Widow was also informed by that. So Black Widow finally found Hawkeye, and she just killed some mafia from Japanese. And she said to him, "We have a chance to get everybody back. We need you to help us." And she just convinced him, and so Hawkeye also came. Then Rocket and Hulk went for Thor. So Thor blamed himself for what Thanos did to the world. So he very messed up himself. So I don't know what he did, but he has now a very fat belly, only drinking beer and playing Fortnite with some aliens. I don't know what kind of aliens it was. And so Hulk and Rocket convinced Thor to come because they had some beer on board. Yeah, so that's why Thor joined, because his beer on the house were empty. Then they did the test with Hawkeye. Hawkeye volunteered to do the time travel test because he was skeptical as well also. But he was confident to do the time travel because Ant-Man wasn't comfortable enough, because the last time they testing, he didn't went to time, the time went through him. Yeah. So Hawkeye went back in time to his farm and hid his children. But the time when he reached his children, they sent him back, and he noticed it works. The next scene was the all Avengers trying to get from everybody information where they saw the Infinity Stone. Then they noticed they didn't need only 3 teams to get all the Infinity Stones. I don't know much about who were in the team, I only remember two teams. Also might be 13, but there was a 13, but I can't remember who was with him. Who? Yeah. Either way, it was 2012, 2013, and 2014. So back to the old movies. What happens? They were also there. So one team was Nebula, War Machine, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. They were in, I think, 2014. It's most like 2014. They were in the near the planet where they were on the space. Let's say on the space. They split it as well. So Hawkeye and Black Widow went to the where they get the Soul Stone, where they have to kill one. One has to sacrifice, and Matka, I think they called a planet called Matka or something. Yeah. Anyway, and the other team they went for, I can't really remember. Let's go for the others. So Iron Man, Captain America, Ant-Man was the other team. So they went going for the, I can't remember the stone name. It was the blue one. Okay, it was the blue one. The one was on the Loki. Loki is, yeah, on Loki. Which Loki uses for a spell. It was during the time where they captured Loki. So they messed it up, and Loki got the stone and disappeared. And the other team, I don't know the other team, but Hawk and Rocket, I think those two might, they are also left. Hawk went for the time stone, the one from Doctor Strange, and the time when he arrived, Doctor Strange wasn't even, how you call it, he wasn't, he had Hawk and them. Yeah, Hawk was also in New York. They went to New York. Hawk was also with Iron Man and them, but they split up. Hawk went to the Old Master, the owner of the time infinity before Doctor Strange, the woman with the, yeah. Then they had a conversation, and he told Doctor Strange volunteered the stone, and she said, "Oh, if Doctor Strange did it, then he must have a reason because he's the best from all of us." So she gave the stone to Bruce Banner after a long talk. What did I miss? Hold up. I talk about 1, 2, 3 stones. Okay. Nebula and War Machine went to some temple, and they just got the stone. And meantime, where War Machine and Nebula went to the temple, the other Nebula on that timeline, her eye just popped up and put a vision what the other Nebula on the future one saw. And so Thanos noticed, what is this Nebula? And Thanos noticed this is the Thanos noticed, and the others noticed it's a future Nebula, overwriting the current Nebula the data after they run the test on the tunnel. So Thanos is planning to go into the future and sabotage, because everybody, when they got the stone, they went back to the future. And Nebula, when she went back to the future, she couldn't went back to the future because she was, they stunned her because they have their machine to stun her. Well, when she went back, because when all people went back, they won't notice any time difference. But they switched the Nebulas out, and the Nebula from the past went back, and they stole their essence, how they went time travel. That will play a very big part. So yeah, I will tell later what happens, how the others come. Um, what does I read? Now I remember. Um, I think 2013, Rocket and Thor went to Asgard because the it was a red one. The red Infinity Stone was somehow in Jane, so the lover of from Thor, and to Rocket got the stone, but before that, Thor had a conversation with his mother, and mother would bring in hope back to Thor, and Thor was confident back again. And so Thor and Rocket also went back. I see it's very detailed. Anyway, so now I think we have all six. No. I said Loki went away with the stone, and Tony Stark tells how you call him? Tony Stark tells. Hold up, Tony Stark. And yeah, there was also I think I forgot the others. Wait, before to Loki went away with there was also another Infinity Storm. Ant-Man small went to small mode. No, wait. Ant-Man made himself small and went to the suitcase, went to the arm of the dude, and they didn't knew he was from Hydra before, but now they knew it, and Captain America went to the elevator, and he says, the boss said, I need to bring the suitcase, and they was almost trying their gun. He said, Heil Hydra, and then they just gave it to him, and then went away. And he gave the suitcase to Ant-Man so he can go back to the future. And the last one, Tony Stark said, I know where we can get the blue Infinity Stone. We would need to get back to 1970. Then they just did it. So, and the problem was also they need the time traveling liquid. And also on that time they can get also a lot of liquid on that time. So they went back, they got the liquid, and Tony Stark meets his father. And also gets the blue Infinity Stone. And he talks with his father, and at the end of it, both went back on time. So at the moment, at this point, everybody is back from the past. They got all 6 stones. Nebula has switched the position. Now they wait, 5 stones. I almost forgot. Black Widow and Hawkeye. So the Red Skull guy, I forgot his name, said if you want the Soul Infinity Stone, the red, I think purple, whatever, the red Infinity, the Soul Infinity Stone, you need to give a soul for a soul. So Black Widow and Hawkeye were talking, then they were fighting over who wants to die. Was very funny. Then it was like Hawkeye was jumping, and then Black Widow was like saving Hawkeye and just fall off the cliff. So Black Widow died, and so Hawkeye comes back with the Soul Infinity Stone. Now every 6 of them, 6 stones are back, and the people were running. Where is Black Widow? And he told her he sacrificed for the stone. So Captain America said, let this not be a waste, and let's get over it. Then they were talking about who is going to use the Infinity Stone to get back. So Thor was like, yeah, I'm going to use it then. Thor convinced the others like, the Infinity Stones using gamma rays, and this thing is like made for him because Hulk and gamma rays is not that big issue film. Meanwhile, while they were talking who's going to use Nebula manipulating the time travel machine so the Thanos and his people can come. So also in the meanwhile, uh, Hulk uses the stone, get his right arm burnt after he uses the Infinity Stone, but because it loses so much energy. So his arm was disabled for this moment, but he brings everybody back to life. Almost everybody he tried. Then Nebula successfully brings Thanos' army, but the others didn't have notice at the moment. Then they were like, "Yeah, we did it!" And that moment, the rockets went to the Avengers base, and it was destroyed. Everybody on the floor, some under, almost dying because some water was also coming down. So what happens next? So let me think. Nebula went to Thanos and says, "What are you going to do?" He says, "I'm just going to wait," and told Nebula to get him the Infinity Stones. Then Hawkeye's at the bottom with the Infinity Stone, and some like tiger-ish aliens are chasing for the Infinity Stone, and he's beating them off and escape. Hulk is holding off the buildings so War Machine and Rocket won't get squashed, but the water's going up, so they ask for help, and Ant-Man helps it and is trying to save them. War Machine is also down there. Yeah. Then the Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. I also forgot Thor brought back his old hammer from the past to the future. Those three saw Thanos sitting there doing nothing. They were like, "Yeah, this looks like a trap. You know that? Yeah, we know." Then they just walk straight to him and fight him one on one. Thor beats them all up, everybody on the floor. Then Captain America. This scene was so amazing. I was like, the hammer's moving? Thor? No! Captain America moving the hammer from Mimi, the hammer from Thor. And Thor's like, "Yeah, I always knew you can do it." And he was fighting Thanos and doing lightning what Thor used to do and fighting with some comms, but Thanos beats him up. Then the whole army from Thanos comes back to the front. There was like 10,000s of armies, and Captain America fighting back his wounds, like trying to get up. And it's like one Captain America versus those big army. Then you see Doctor Strange, the circle when everybody comes back. Then, because I already said Hulk already brought everybody back, and so everybody came. The whole Wakanda, the whole Asgards, the whole magicians from Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, Guardian of Galaxies, everybody just came to fight off army versus army. And then the spaceship, that destroyed the how you call it? No, first off, the fight off. Let me see the fight. It was a big smash, so a lot of things happened. After a while, in this big war, you can't find whatever's happening. Anyway, after a while, then Thanos was like telling to his like the captain, like under the boss, so like use the rockets to destroy everything. He was like, "You're going to destroy my your own troops." He's like, "Just do it." And at that moment, he uses it and destroys some people, but then Captain America comes and just destroys this gigantic ship. What I forgot to mention, Hawkeye escaped, and I think I mentioned, but Ant-Man also saved Hulk and Record and War Machine. They all escaped. And Captain Marvel was close to beat Thanos. It was a close battle. And that movie I noticed, Captain Marvel is very strong. I would say most likely the second strongest Avengers next to Thor. It feels like she was the strongest. Anyways, they had a plan because Nebula destroyed the time travel machine. They had a plan to bring back the stone to the van to travel there back. A lot of things happened. So Captain Marvel get the Infinity Stone from Spider-Man. Okay, no, when I say from Spider-Man, first this Infinity Stone were on Hawkeye. Hawkeye gives it to Black Panther. Black Panther gives them to Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Tron then gives it to Captain Marvel. And then Spidey's like, how are you gonna get through? Then all women Avengers standing there like she has help. It was like women's power. Getting through the army, and Captain Marvel's like some lightning. And at that moment also Thanos throws his blade, but not to Captain America, to destroy the van, and some wave came. Then Thanos, it was a close combat versus Captain Marvel. It was like almost like Thanos getting uses the Infinity Stones. Then Doctor Strange gives Tony Stark the signal, that the 1 in 14 million, like the signal, and Tony Stark went through Thanos like close battle, and like she just pushes Iron Man off. Then Thanos just did like this, and nothing happened. Then he was like, "What the?" And he just turned back his hand, and there were like no stones on it because Tony Stark swapped their gloves up. Then Tony Stark like something. I'm Iron Man. I don't remember what he said, and just looked like, and destroyed the whole army from Thanos, and they were all gone. I might miss the scene where Nebula were convinced from the older Nebula and her sister to turn back to the good side. There might be some other scenes I left as well, but I will just cover what happens, the most important parts. It's also an important part, but it was a almost 3 hour long movie. You can't not remember every detail. So after Tony Stark uses the Infinity Stone, it was not a happy end. He died. Yeah, I'll just say straight up, he died. Then there was a funeral for Tony Stark. Then they were showing everybody who was on the funeral. Nick Fury was also there as well. Then there was also some scenes. It wasn't over then. Captain America said, "I'm going to bring the stones back," and he said he's going alone. He brought the stone back. Then like Hulk, like 3, 2, 1, come back. It's not working. Why it's not working? Then you see some old man sitting on the bench. Then Bucky and says to Falco, "You have to go to him." Then Falco goes to the old man, as was Captain America and old. Yeah, he stayed back on the time and with Black Widow before she went to the Avengers. So and that was shown in the later scene. But he gives his shield to Falco and says, "Now it's yours." I think I covered every scene up. I might miss some of them, but that's it with the review. What happened in Avengers Avengers Endgame. So the rating, what I will give this movie, 10 out of 10. Wait, this is one of the. I would say this might be. You don't know what movies comes out, but this might be the movie of the year. I would say right now it's a movie of the month, but it might be most likely. It was funny, interesting, action. Even it was an almost 3 hour long video. I was always concentrated on the movie. And yeah, I might not watch the second time because it's 3 hours, but I would say watch the movie. If not, you're missing something out. If you didn't have watched Avengers before, I would say yeah, it might be confusing for you. But if you have already watched lots of Avenger movie, watch Infinity War. There's a big war, everything, lots happening. This is the best Avengers movie out there. Anyway, that's it with the video. Thanks for watching and bye.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.